June 26, 2023, sunny. We have been working on a seaside villa project these past few days, and we are planning to use the nearby stones as a breakthrough in the design concept. Today, I went to the seaside to inspect the site and started observing the stones after taking a walk around. The stones that are frequently washed by the waves are mostly smooth, while those slightly further away from the shore have more angular shapes. I found a pile of stones, sat down, and began sketching them. Drawing allows me to observe and understand the forms and details of the subject more carefully. Unlike photography, when I take pictures, I tend to focus more on the composition of the objects in the environment and the variations of light and shadow. While I was halfway through my drawing, a child ran over and looked at it. After a while, the child disappointedly asked, "Why are you only drawing rocks?" June 27, 2023, rainy. Today, I went to the site of the seaside project and took a stroll around the nearby town. It was a rare day with less intense sunlight, but unexpectedly, it started to rain while I was walking. Summer showers come and go quickly. After seeking shelter for a while, the rain stopped. The sun intermittently appeared through the clouds, accompanied by a gentle sea breeze. In June, there weren't many tourists around, making it the perfect time for a leisurely walk. Unknowingly, I ended up walking quite far. At the seaside, I often come across wooden houses built by the indigenous people. Some are right by the coast, while others are hidden among the trees not far from the shore. The ground floor of the houses near the beach is elevated, likely to cope with high tides. The upper and lower levels are connected by long straight staircases. Although I couldn't go upstairs, I imagine the view from up there must be fantastic: green palm trees at the edge of the building, golden sand nearby, and the blue sea not far away. After 2 days of strolling and observing the site, we now have a general direction for the design concept of this project. June 28, 2023, sunny. In Europe, we always seem to effortlessly encounter musicians. Whether it's under the shade of a tree, next to a cafe, on the subway, or by the staircase. In these places, on any given day, there will be someone with a musical instrument, either singing or playing, adding a splash of color to our day. During lunch break, while walking back to the office with my colleagues, we were captivated by a young man sitting by a flower bed, strumming his guitar and singing. His voice was enchanting, and he played the guitar exceptionally well. A crowd had gathered around him, and eventually, everyone unconsciously started moving their bodies to the rhythm. After performing 2 songs, he stood up, smiled, and nodded amidst the applause, then left. Only then did we realize that he wasn't a street performer, as there was no collection container in front of him. Music transcends borders and overcomes language barriers, bringing joy to everyone. June 29, 2023, cloudy. Drawing is my hobby and somewhat a professional requirement, although I'm not particularly skilled at it. During my university days, I learned some sketching, primarily focusing on geometric shapes made of plaster, as it was considered fundamental. Later, I tried my hand at drawing fruits, vegetables, and still life, but my skills didn't progress much. I never delved deeper into studying drawing techniques. When I was a student, the most challenging part of life drawing was dealing with a mass of plants, especially those lush clusters of trees on the water's edge. It would take me hours to complete a drawing. I often felt envious of those who effortlessly captured the essence of plants with just a few strokes. The sketch I made today actually took me an hour and a half. I drew quite slowly, and it still doesn't feel right. Sigh, I'll keep on drawing. I'll persevere, and one day, things will be different. June 30th, 2023, sunny. Today, after attending a meeting at the City Hall, I returned to the office and immediately heard everyone gossiping and laughing about our intern. A colleague mentioned that when he went downstairs to buy coffee, he witnessed the entire process of our intern confessing his feelings to the girl he likes at the coffee shop. The colleague described it in great detail, even capturing the subtle fluttering of the girl's eyelashes. So, how did it end? I asked. He said it seemed to be successful because he saw the girl let him hold her hand without any hesitation. Just as he finished telling us, the intern walked in, and the whole office instantly quieted down. He was startled for a moment, looked at us, and then quickly realized what had happened. There was a hint of embarrassment on his face. One of my colleagues whispered, "So, how did it go?" He smiled and nodded. In response, the entire office erupted in enthusiastic applause and cheers. July 1st, 2023, partly cloudy. Today, I visited a friend who is an engineer to seek advice on a design question, so I went to his office. Their office is located on the 11th floor, offering a beautiful view from the windows. I am someone who enjoys heights because when I stand in front of a glass window, I feel like an observer, with the city's scenery unfolding beneath my eyes. I love this elevated perspective, especially at night when I can clearly see the flow of people and the play of lights and shadows. At such moments, setting up a tripod allows me to easily capture time-lapse videos of the city. I have always wanted to have my office on a high floor, but in many European cities, it's not always easy. There are strict height restrictions on buildings, limiting their height. Except for certain cities or areas, most buildings cannot exceed 6 floors, and some are only 3 or 4 floors. So, finding an office on a high floor requires quite a stroke of luck. July 2nd, 2023, rainy. Today, in the office, I continued working on the beachfront villa project. My engineer friend from yesterday came to visit and brought some food along. Noticing that I often engage in drawing, he asked me about the significance of drawing for humans, considering that AI can now draw many things and might become even more impressive in the future. While I don't know what others may think, for me personally, the essence of drawing lies in the process rather than the outcome. My sketches often revolve around exploring design possibilities or documenting certain things or moments. The thinking and learning that occurred during the act of drawing are more important than the final product. Curious, he asked, "Can you draw like an AI?" "I'll give you a prompt, and you can draw it." I replied, "I'm not sure." So, we decided to play this game. He is passionate about sports cars, whereas I don't have much knowledge in that area. He described his dream car using words, and I expressed it through my brush. In the end, he seemed satisfied with the result, but for me, I gained some previously unknown knowledge about sports cars. This is the significance of my sketching. Perhaps the final outcome may not be remarkable, but I enjoy the process.